Wait a moment. Come a little closer, please, he said, aiming at the target. Barely 5 seconds had passed and our queen without mysteries shared yet another detailed story for you, my dears. Listen carefully and enjoy. The house exhaled the scent of the sea on that suffocating afternoon, while I, Veronica, organized the curtains in the bedroom for visitors. The same bedroom where my brother-in-law Mike would spend the next few weeks. My husband, Lucas, had left to deal with crucial matters in Los Angeles, as he usually did when monotony overcame him, leaving me with an automatic kiss and the vague promise of calls that would never come. Mike, his younger brother, arrived to manage the property, claiming to be concerned about me, but I recognized that predatory look beneath the facade of innocence. He entered the room at 3:47 p.m., wearing muddy boots from the field, his shirt slightly open showing a suntanned torso. His arms, marked by veins that looked like networks of turbulent rivers, carried a toolbox as if it was something insignificant. I need to repair the stable roof, he declared, deftly lifting a hammer. The rain is causing damage. I nodded, feigning interest, as he climbed the ladder. My eyes, followed the play of the muscles in his back under the delicate fabric of his shirt. I already knew that a tactic was all it took to achieve my goal. Mike was one of those men who exuded confidence as if the world were his playground. At nightfall after dinner, he appeared in the kitchen with a bottle of robust wine. "Would you like some?" he asked, his greasy fingers gripping the neck. "Just a sip." That little untruth sliding into the glass. We sat on the porch, the wind carrying the scent of the nearby river, and I felt my light, delicate white dress clinging to my skin. He didn't look away when I leaned over to reach for the glass. "You're different, Veronica," he said in a commanding voice. "Has Lucas stopped driving or is he not knowing how to maneuver properly?" I smiled, allowing the wine to color my lips. Widows of absent husbands have these nuances. He let out a restrained laugh as I raised what interested him, my hands casually over the salt shaker. My heart accelerated gently, like an engine on a deserted road. "The roof is safe now," he murmured, smiling, his fingers sliding over my wrist. "But what about you? Are you safe here?" I didn't answer. I stood up and walked to the window, aware that he would follow me. That light pressure from behind, and I felt the touch just below, firm and like a promise of something pending. "Luciano," I sighed almost as a warning. He buried his nose in my neck, inhaling deeply. "Your perfume reminds me of jasmine after the rain." I turned slowly until our faces were a whisper apart. His brown eyes, darker than Lucas's, insightful, reflected in the semi-darkness. "This is a tangle," I murmured, my hands slowly rising to his chest. "Tangle I untie with skill," he replied, closing the distance. The kiss was like a flame in a dry forest. His work-hardened hands held my hips like someone controlling an untamable steed, while his tongue explored my mouth with the haste of someone afraid of being surprised. My two small, free fruits pressed against his chest, their nipples hardening like prematurely picked fruit. "I'm thinking about starting that idle little engine there," he grunted, biting my lower lip. I threw him against the wall, my legs wrapping around his waist in a fluid gesture. The fabric rose automatically, revealing the delicate piece of black lace, the same one Lucas had never noticed. "Be careful what you taste, Luciano," I warned, guiding the machinery. "Some flavors are addictive." He laughed, his fingers finding my heat like a flood in fertile soil. "I'm ready to bear the cost." That's when the phone vibrated. Lucas. We both froze, he almost possessing me, my nails still digging into his back. "Don't answer, Luciano," he ordered, his voice a decree, but I was already sliding down, adjusting the fabric. "Another time," I murmured, certain that the next occasion would be without interruption. He grabbed my arm and, for the first time, I saw his eyes sparkle. "This isn't over now," he smiled, licking his still swollen lips. "Of course not," I agreed. "Keep driving, the road is clear." With no time to let him drive the flower, I gave him a hand, shifting gears on the couch, and we went so far that I could feel it dripping between my fingers as we surrendered to each other. The rain began to fall 2 nights later, thick and persistent, as if the sky were trying to purify our intentions. Luciano appeared in the doorway as I fumbled with my cell phone. His eyes glittered in the dim light, and I smiled. "The stable is making a strange noise. Come and check it out." And I went, because I wanted to so badly. I was barefoot, wearing pajamas made of sublime fabric. The stable smelled of wet wood and rust, lit only by a spotlight hanging from the rafters. He locked the door with a rusty padlock, the sound reverberating like an unspoken yes. "Are you afraid?" he asked, approaching like a panther stalking its prey. "Of you," he smiled, leaning against the tool bench. "I feel sorry for Lucas." He gritted his teeth, his hand on my experienced hip. "Lucas doesn't realize the chance he wasted." Unlike the first time, there was no hesitation, only an insatiable thirst. His fingers worked their way through the fabric with the delicacy of damp paper, the cold of the stable contrasting with the spreading heat. He pushed me against a pile of feed sacks, the rough friction tangling with my pink nails. "Now I'm going to ride with desire," he grunted, gently nibbling on my shoulder, while his hands mapped the 2 small fruits, leaving marks. All disheveled, completely his. When he lowered the vehicle on the slope, I let out a sharp moan as his mouth descended to my belly, outlining routes that I could only contemplate with my eyes closed. His teeth pulled the thin piece and I jumped with joy. "Luciano," I begged, my fingers intertwined in his short hair. He lifted his face, his eyes sparkling. "Do you want more? Now I determine the pace at which you will navigate this road." As I mounted with slow movements, each inch penetrated carefully. His hips firm on the rise, he had already given himself completely. "Don't hold back," I ordered. "Just keep going. I want it all." The rain beat on the tin roof, dictating the rhythm of our dance. He moved the flower deftly, obeying my directions. I allowed myself to be led. It was his turn to follow orders. He rasped against my ear, biting the back of my neck, while his hands pinned my wrists behind me. "Open," he said, his voice a command that I obeyed before I could even process it. He poured into my mouth like a rising tide, salty and burning, while my fingers gripped the fabric, urging him on. I swallowed each wave until he withdrew. His knees giving way on the dirt floor, he gasped, cupping my face with hands that seemed to beg for gratitude. I smiled, wiping my lips with the back of my hand. "Do you still think the stable is a problem? You are the problem, and I love solving complicated things." I allowed him to lead me to the pile of hay in the corner, where the heat of our bodies dried the dampness of sins. Later that night, my finger still searched for the tip of the fabric. Was this his? I asked, already knowing the answer. I rested my head on his chest, listening to his racing heart. What now? Now we move on. Just keep going, there's more road for you to travel. The rain stopped at dawn, but we continued our storm. Did you like this story? So, leave a comment telling us what you thought, and, if you've experienced something similar, share it with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any new content. Here, we always bring life stories, reflections, and real experiences, all with great sincerity. Thank you for watching until the end and for being part of this journey. See you in the next video.